Welcome again, y'all. Welcome back. It is your gracious host, King Crowder, back again for another edition of Live on Sunday. Man, started a little late because I was trying to watch the game, but I knew I had to come tap in and talk to my people. Again, this edition is different. It's Mother's Day, but I gotta talk that real talk because there's really crazy things going on in the news. But remember, Sunday is the first day of the week where you get your mind together. Sunday is the period that you rest, reflect, think, strategize, and put your plans in place. Man, it's so good to be here, man. This weekend was a little special because I had some of the Crowder gang in my city. The Crowders came to Houston, Texas, y'all. It is so good when you got family in town. Also, when you get to celebrate the holiday moments. Thank you for commenting, like, and subscribing to the channel, man. If you like what you're hearing, please let me know. So good to hear from my people. But let's go ahead and chop it up, man. Number one, it was good to have family in town. It's good to have family in town, y'all, because they remind you how far and how much you move, and you may not have noticed yourself. So my auntie and uncle have seen me through every stage in my life, right, y'all? And they always remind me, Rail, you've done this, you've done that. And I think it's always good to, one, have those reminders because you know where you're going. And for two, to instill that confidence in yourself. It's nobody else you could really talk about your aspirations with but your wife and your close immediate family. And it's always good just to know that your direction is being seen and those small nuggets people observe and notice. Number two, I didn't realize it until they broke it down, y'all. If you get a chance to celebrate Mother's Day with your mother, be grateful for that. Seriously, my mother is alive. We have a great relationship. I speak to her and talk to her, and I wish her happy Mother's Day, and I do the best I can. But I didn't realize, because my journey has been different, that I've had to move for career aspirations, professional goals, and to be ambitious I've tried to be, that I haven't had the opportunity to live near my mama. And you don't realize that until your family say, "Bro, I don't know if you've been gone for almost 10 years." And I'm like, man, so 10 Mother's Days, I've actually not got to celebrate with my mother, except for when I graduated from college during my undergrad, which is crazy when you think about it, right? So since undergraduate, that was the last time at Hampton that I had a Mother's Day weekend where we celebrated together. So if you get to celebrate with your mom and your peoples, then do not forget it, because others yearn for it, like myself. Even though I know the love and I've seen my mother, in the past this year, it still is those moments where you got to think back and reflect. Man, what else I've been working on this week? If you have not seen my finger, man, don't be the hero at work. Your boy got in an accident, nothing major, just fractured my finger right here. Man, they put me on work leave and compensation for that. Make sure, take care of yourself and your ligaments. I got to go to the orthopedic doctor tomorrow, which, I ain't never been in nothing like that, so I'm nervous. But I know I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, so I'm not worried about it. But I want everybody to know, take care of yourself, eat your vitamins, eat your medicine, make sure your health is straight. Them doctor visits, everything you got to do, don't shed the lights on. Whatever you need to do, make sure you do it, man, because in these moments when accidents and things happen, when you in good health, it's easier. And I'm in decent health. I'm in good health. I can say that. So, moving on to tonight's topics, man. Oh, man. If you have not been living under a rock, you have seen what my topic is tonight. Marriage, dating, mate selection is so critical. The reason why this subject tonight, y'all, is so critical, because even in my book that's being released June 1st, Things Our Parents Never Taught Us, the idea that we don't focus on mate selection is crazy. Why am I talking about mate selection? The reason why I wanted to discuss this topic is that we had two big news things brought up by fathers that were in relationships and marriages with their prior wives, and it shows you how who you pick can affect you so much. The first case scenario I want to talk about Shaquille O'Neal, the famous basketball player. Many do not know Shaq, but I know Shaq on the court. But off the court this week, man, it was truly humbling to hear his wife is selling him a novel, which she is complete ex-wife, which she is completely reasonable to do. But to hear the things that she was saying about her former husband, y'all, is shocking. But you know why it's shocking? Men, we gotta take responsibility for that. What do you mean we gotta take responsibility for that? You have to know the difference between a fun girl, a wife, a girlfriend, and somebody that deserves your last name. Shaq's ex-wife disrespected that man by saying she was never in love with him. You mean this man had you in a palatial estate? You mean this man had you in $1 million condos, $1 million houses? You built your legacy off his last name. Now the kid's grown. You gonna say you ain't never loved that man? And all Shaq's response could be was that I deserve that. You may not believe me. You may think, man, I'm capping in my rap, man. I'm just talking, man. I like to read and respond to these type of events because it's critical. So, number one, ladies, in this dating game from 2024 until the rest of eternity, until our eyes close. So, my eyes close, which will be within another 100 years. I want to make a PSA. If you date a drug dealer, an athlete, anything with a profession that causes travel, you know the professions that have high risk of infidelity. Nobody is going to feel sorry for you. Let me say it again. If you dating an athlete or a drug dealer, you will not be the only woman. Men, we understand this. Women, you are not fooling anyone by saying I wasn't the only woman. You knew Shaq was a multi-million-dollar NBA superstar. You knew what you got with him, what was going to be happening. You knew that. That's why you had 4 or 5 plus kids with the brother. The article says Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife Shawnee says she's not sure she ever loved him. Shaquille O'Neal shared a message on Instagram, often released of his ex-wife memoir. In the release, in her book that's being released, y'all see the date. Looking back, I don't know if I ever really loved that man O'Neal, who I married in 2002. Wait a minute. Aren't you married now? Let's start there. If I was a husband right now, and I heard you say that about a brother that took care of you, that provided for you, your kids, and your family, and you was to say to him, who you pushed out 4 to 5 babies by, you never loved him, I'm looking at you crazy. You put this on paper. Ma'am, you shared his last name. Ma'am, you lived off his legacy. Ma'am, you kept it to be in the show because he qualified you to be a basketball wife. Let's keep reading. Overcoming our relationship, which began in the 90s and ended in 2009, Henderson filed for separation from the couple and admitted a 2011 memoir. I want you to know that's when Shaq's playing career went down. Let's keep going. Henderson, formerly O'Neal, in her memoir mentioned that she was in love with the idea of being married to a man that had a family. Did you read that? Let's read that again. I was in love with the idea of a man that had a family with. Was it in love with the idea of being in life together, doing the mirror? O'Neal and Henderson share 4 children together. Mind you, they got kids out here. They got Instagram, social media. They can see this. They can see what you're saying about their daddy. Mom and my daddy had their issues, y'all, even when they went through what they went through. Why am I stepping into that? Why do I think that's cool to bring up that and say all that stuff? That's not cool to do. They kids got social media, Instagram, everything, man. Why are you putting that out there? Their daddy did what they did umpteen years ago. Why Is any of this their responsibility? The reality star mentioned they truly enjoyed spending time with O'Neal because he was trying to be a world famous 30-something with thousands of women throwing themselves around him. As a man, again, let me go ahead and tell ladies, drug dealers and athletes is a multiple woman type of thing. No, excuse me. No man will believe you, ladies, when you say I was with Shaq and I was supposed to be the only one. We look at you like you crazy. We do. If ain't no other man gonna tell you this, I'm gonna tell you. No man believes that you're gonna be the only one with a superstar athlete. If you choose the drug dealer lifestyle, it comes with multiple women. It's a fact. You ain't gotta like what I'm saying. You ain't gotta agree with what I'm saying. But that lifestyle comes with a cost. Nobody is gonna feel empathetic, sympathetic for the lifestyle you chose. That's it. Let's keep going. O'Neal stated on there, 30-something. At the same time was being a husband and a father in a relationship after dissolve. Let's put it in perspective. Shaq is a 20-year-old athlete who's doing his best to take care of his body, provide for his family, and his legacy. On May 8th, O'Neal took to Instagram to share his similarly pointed message. I understand I wouldn't be in love with her either. Wish you the best. I'll love Shaq. No, Shaq. No, Shaq. Shaq. No. No. I don't think this is cool. Number one, Shaq may have did what he done. And I'm not saying that infidelity is a cool thing. But for you to drop a book, ma'am, 12 years later, while you in another marriage, saying that type of stuff, how is that honest? Ma'am, you've had time. You moved on. You're with another man. You're with another man. Look at the other people that comment on his status. His son, love you, Dad. You saved my life. In another conversation, you're the most lovable and likable person on the planet. Most of the people write in the comment, class act. Shaq took accountability. You were a man. You stood on what you wanted to say. Blah, 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 blah. No. Shaq. This is why most of the young dudes don't like listening to the older cats, y'all. Y'all know this? The reason why young men have such a hard time listening to older fellas talk about anything is because y'all not keeping it real. Y'all let women of y'all generation get away with anything. Y'all let them talk about anything. Y'all let them get a pass with anything. Y'all let them do whatever they need to do with no consequences. Shaq shouldn't have took complete responsibility for that. She knew when she got with Shaq what the lifestyle entailed. Good, bad, or indifferent, if you liked it or you didn't like it, that ain't got nothing to do with it. You knew what was coming with it. You knew it. You knew it. And why do you constantly get a pass? Why do you constantly say, oh, this is what happens, and even if I want to keep drumming the support, even after I've used your name, even after I've used your titles, even after I've used your legacy, I'm going to continue to milk that by saying you cheated. You cheat is not the end all be all. On Mother's Day, it's not. He's not. Was he a good father? Was he a good provider? Did y'all relationship not work out, but he still handled his end of the bill? That's a great man. I know. We are hyper sensitive about cheating with most men, but that's BS. We are not. We're not. We are hyper, beat the man down, hold him accountable, beat him down. But in actuality, as long as she can continue to get benefits from it, it's okay. Shaq, I don't know you, don't know your situation, never going to speak on how you and your ex-wife are supposed to interact. But as a son of a divorcee in my own family, the father is not always wrong. He's not. I'm not saying his behavior has to be accepted based on the mother's standard, but Shaq ain't all the way wrong. That relationship went the way it went. Who said she was keeping up her end of the bargain? Who said she was a respectful lady? Who said she was mannerable? Who said that she didn't even try to work on a marriage? Did she just try to end it without any mentality of trying to work through it, go through therapy and other options? Did she try? Or did she want to receive the benefits because Shaq was getting those max contracts without minimum effort? She said in that document, and I quote, "I wanted the marriage lifestyle and identity, but I didn't want to be the wife." Come on, lady. You had chefs. You had a pampered lifestyle. You didn't have to do anything that our grandmothers and great-grandparents had to do. Were you truly being a wife in that relationship where Shaq was making all that money and taking care of y'all handsomely? I mean, I'm just saying, if we're going to tell the truth, tell it all. You ain't doing everything that you're supposed to be doing with that when Shaq was holding it down, making oogoo's amount of money, which the brother rightfully earned. But let's keep it real. If we want the respect of the young man, if we want the young man to understand the marriage and understand family lifestyle, we got to keep it 100. Young men do not respect it because it's a lie. Good, bad, or indifferent, y'all. That's the reason why they respected Kevin Samuels. I know it's crazy bringing up his name. They respected him because he told the truth. A lot of them do not respect the other guys because they don't tell the truth. And if I can see it and you don't see it, it's a problem. Along with me giving my take on it, I love for you to hear other men's take on the situation, to hear it, and also to give you a different perspective. Let's go. Fair use. TikTok, I love it.
Responded to his Shaquille O'Neal, NBA legend, responded to his ex-wife's revelations about not being in love with him during their marriage in her new book. The couple, who wed in 2002 and divorced in 2011, had a tumultuous relationship. O'Neal shared his thoughts on Instagram after reading the passage about their marriage. "I understand," O'Neal wrote. "I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Wishing you all the best. All love, Shaq." And he added, "Trust me, I get it."
Fair. He read that. He read that, right? He read that. Let's give another take on it.
Whoa, Honey O'Neal said she was never in love with Shaq. She was just in love with that lifestyle, that NBA lifestyle, and that money.
Y'all know what that means when he just said that crazy comment. You was a gold digger. You never loved Shaq. You loved what he could do for you.
I can't believe she admitted that. Then again,
and nobody is shaming her for admitting that. There has not been a single outrage on the woman's side that says Shawnee was wrong for saying that. Because she was. She was wrong for saying, "I gave this man 5 children. I did whatever I could to get money out this man, but I was not wrong for saying I never loved him." That's a bad look.
She didn't make the show Basketball Wives, so maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I know you got to sell some books. My God. That, man, that's a gut punch. I'm going to pour out a little liquor for you, Shaq. I know that must hurt.
That was actually pretty funny by him. But he's telling the truth, man. And what gets me, y'all, you're married. You are married now to a pastor. How does he let... I cannot have my old lady saying something, me hearing it, and I be cool with her saying that. Book or no book, no ma'am. That's your private relationship. Good, bad, or indifferent. You can't disrespect him like that. You got kids. I mean, let me see this guy right here. A good.
They marry because they're tired of being single and tired of working. And they want someone to take care of them. Love is not on the plate. Some don't.
That was a powerful right there. Wow.
Marry for love. They marry strictly for money. They want someone that got money. And some dumb men is all right with it.
Yeah.
Man, that's true too, man. A lot of dudes do not know how to vet women. And I have this conversation with guys all the time, y'all. It's kind of funny. Some of them are so qualified on what she has, what she look like. They don't understand that the marriage goal is about family and creating another successful family. Your wife is not supposed to be a dime. Your wife is supposed to be your best helpmate and the best person that's going to make your children and your family move forward. If you are caught up on the looks, what does she do, yada, 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 it's not going to be a successful relationship. Because that's not what marriage is. Marriage is how do you sit on this couch on Tuesday, have a conversation about where I want our kids to be learning. That's what marriage is. Marriage ain't about what you look like, ain't about your body. It ain't about none of that. And it is the fault of many brothers. Many of us are uneducated on that. So the women that are supposed to be wives do not.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I see everyone is talking about the whole
don't get the love they should supposed to get. And I do believe women have a point of angle about that. So that's a fact. But let me go ahead and explain this guy's deal. I'm going to let them roll through it, okay, before I get my announcement.
They marry me because they're tired of being single and tired of working. And they want someone to take care of them. Love is not on the plate. Some don't marry for love. They marry strictly for money. They want someone that got money.
That's right.
And some dumb men is all right with it.
Yeah. All right.
Hear the old man now.
An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro.
Hey, evil wife.
Evil.
Mm-hmm. There's a yoke
shaken to and fro.
Shaken to and fro.
He that hath hold of her,
he that got her,
is as though he held a scorpion.
I didn't write this.
Amen.
That's a fact, though. Translation, y'all. If you don't pick the wrong woman, you are self-sabotaging yourself mentally, financially, spiritually, socially, emotionally, and mentally. And man, I want all brothers. There's few things that I have read ever in my life that are truly, let me see if I can spell her name. I'm sorry. Shahrzad Ali books. There's few things that I've read in my life that are truly groundbreaking about Black relationships, Black women, Black thought processes, and Black understanding. Any of my brothers that want to read something that is truly groundbreaking until this day, any of Shahrzad Ali books I love, but the one book that I love the most that was given to me by my dad as a freshman in college, the book was written in 1989. And if you are a brother and you want to learn about relationships, how to understand multiple women, how to understand how to vet and find a wife, how to understand where you're supposed to be as a man. Are you a slave? Mentally, do you know how to process and find your local Black businesses? Any of those type of things written by this great queen is worth every penny, y'all. But every man needs to read the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Women. She speaks on every class of women: the ratchet, the semi-educated, the educated, the boss babes. They're different names compared to what they used to be, but this book breaks it down. Y'all, and it will teach you how to navigate these relationships and avoid what people like Shaq had to go through. People like Shaq could have avoided that by simply investing in his mind and utilizing that tool. If you do not invest in your mind, fellas, your confidence won't be there. Once your confidence is there, you have the ability to attract and choose the type of woman that wants you. Do not go after the woman that you want. Choose the one that likes you the most. Shout out to my daddy. Whatever woman loves you, likes your style, likes your energy, wants and pursues you, go after that woman. Just let me say it again. Whatever woman loves you, goes after you, chases you, buys for you, invests in you, go after that woman. You won't be disappointed. Every woman that we pursue, that we chase after, that we try to qualify for, we hurt ourselves in the process. She is supposed to love you as much and invest in you as much as you invest in her. If she does not invest in you, if she does not love you, if you don't get the return on your investment, fellas, that's when the resentment, the bitterness, and other issues occur. Closing thoughts on the Shaq point. Shaq got to take ownership because he let it happen. Men, this has to be a learning moment for us to learn not to go through that. How do we not go through it? We make better decisions and choices ourselves. We learn that mate selection is a priority. Let me say it again. In my book, June 1st, we have chapters for women and men speaking on mate selection. Mate selection is the first chapter on generational wealth. Let me say that again. Mate selection, choosing your mate, choosing your partner, choosing that person that you want to go through life with is the single greatest decision of your life. And I'm going to keep going my next point. The reason why it's a single great decision of your life, many of us do not know the story of Gary Owen. I didn't know Gary Owens, as we call him, the comedian, right? I didn't know his legacy and story. Phenomenal stories, man. Rag to riches, came up, had his issues, yada, yada, yada. Gary Owens is a very likable gentleman. His story is eye-opening, and I'm surprised more people didn't uptick about it. Gary Owens' story is eye-opening because it speaks on the infidelity point again. But the reason why Gary's story is more pivotal, children are involved. Unlike Shaq, his children have not seen or spoke to this gentleman in 3 years. It took me a lot to process that, y'all, because I come from a loving father and mother. And I will admit, when my mother and father first separated, it was rough to see that and experience that. But I had to understand, as the child, he's not separating from me. He's separating from my mother. My mother, everything she says is not correct. Sometimes she lies. Sometimes she does not keep the truth. Sometimes what my mother say is not always correct. As a child, I had to understand that. My father sat me down, y'all, after their divorce and said, son, I'm not divorcing you. I'm unhappy. I've tried multiple times. I've tried several things, and I was not happy for years on end. But I stuck it out because I love my family. What he told me was no excuse about why he did his thing, but he mentioned to me, hey, I'm working constantly. It was multiple things. There was no love in the house. It was a sexless marriage. As a man, how can I not understand that? Good, bad, indifferent, right, wrong is not my issue. As the son that loves his daddy, that is their relationship. My mother and father's relationship has zero to do with me. Whatever they go through is none of my business. Whatever allegation, whatever cheating, as long as it's not physical, why does that enable my relationship with my father? Why does what they had going on affect me? And the reason why Gary's situation is so deep to me as a man, I am the child of that situation. But hearing openly how his wife said that goes back again to the beginning point about mate selection being so important. She doesn't understand right now that you're reaping what you're sowing. But the deep down part about the children not seeing his father, you not reinforcing that you should see and love your father, you being a barrier instead of the builder between them is insane. For him to go to his child's house, knock on the door, and they call you and you have to call him, No, that's a problem. And seeing it is worth more than we're talking. So what I want to do is play some clips from Shay Shay and him and her talking about the situation. And I'm gonna allow you to see it for yourself because I had to take a deep dive down this, and I think it's important. Let's see.
And you know, I'm like all for this in terms of like, you know, I want to marry a Black man, you know.
Okay.
And I understand why a lot of Black women want to do that because they feel like culturally there's like differences in other men that it will be so hard for them to be accustomed to, right?
I didn't realize how much I missed the swag, the vibe of a Black guy until maybe just turn it off, you know, because you're married. I think Black guys definitely bring a different vibe. We were brought up so differently, like just in terms of the nuclear family was different. Had a very, I think his mother was loving and probably did the best she could do, but had a very loving and attentive mother, you know, so he didn't have a lot.
That is diabolical, number one. But let's keep going.
I read a quote where they said, I read a quote where they said, when you go through a divorce, when your kids are younger, they idolize their dad. Then when the divorce happens, they demonize them. I know, and I think deep down my kids know. They know I was there when they was growing up. They know no matter what was going on in my life, they came first. And it's weird how everything was fine until the divorce happened. And then I became a deadbeat. Then it was I abandoned everybody. And I was like, that is not what happened. I never put my career before them. It was equal. You know what I mean? My management, when we went over my schedule, when's their kids' birthdays? What events do they got to be in? Like if there was a recital, a basketball game, things like that, I was like, okay, I got to get back. I got to make it. Like we would literally, okay, what day is Austin's birthday? What day is Kennedy's birthday? Emilio's birthday? Like, okay, so you can't work that day. Or I got to be close enough that I can get back for their birthday. And we had a reality show, you know what I mean? That everybody got paid on. I was making my kids money when they were under 18. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't know why this is such eye-opening to me, man. But yeah. And I hate to go here, man, but the expectation that she had for the brother post their divorce that he mentioned on Unk's podcast. Shout out to Unk, man. I love your content, baby. And I love you, Unk.
She wanted 44,000.
Hold on. Let it play. It's eye-opening. Fair use. Letting the internet do the internet thing. Let's let it play.
She wanted $44,000 a month.
Which is insane, by the way. You are entitled for alimony, and I believe that. But that much money, for what are you going to be doing if your kids are grown?
The kids are grown. The kids are grown now, right?
Yeah.
The kids are grown.
Yeah.
She wanted $44,000 a month.
Yeah.
And you like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. What do you think I said? It did make me look like a baller, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
I was like, hair got cake like that. I like bakery. Yeah, that was a hell of a number.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you think like, did you ask your lawyer, how did she arrive at that number? That number. I mean, who she think? I mean,
that's a lot, and it's tax free.
Yes,
it's tax free.
Absolutely.
So do the math on that. $44,000 a month times 12. That's a $500,000.
Yeah,
that's like $900,000 if you think about it with taxes.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
And just think about the time in which she's going to get that.
Right, that part.
That's what you were thinking too.
That part. That part. That was a lot. Yeah, I was like, you know, here's the thing too. Like, it's funny. Like, I took on all the debt with the divorce too.
Yeah,
like
That's the other side of it too, man. Is that you got to take on all the burden and still overproduce? And I'm not anybody's for Gary, y'all. But again, I am the child of a father that went through a divorce, so I see both sides of it. But just hearing what he went through. If you are a man, you need to be processing this. Let's keep processing this some more.
You got debt.
Yeah.
I took all of it, and it was a lot. I took all of it. I said, no, I got it. I got it. Don't worry about it. You know? So I was like, I didn't like getting dragged saying like I'm a deadbeat dad. And then it was like I left everybody hanging.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the case. Like I got the text. Like I literally said, hey, send me the bills. I got it. And she was like, no, that's not how we do things. So I was like, well, I don't know what you want me to do here.
Right.
I said, I'm paying off all this debt we got.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the big thing was the house. She wanted to stay in the house. I go, we got to sell the house.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah.
And I took.
You can stay there, but you got to pay the note on it.
Well, it was more than that. I'm not going to get into it, but there was some other stuff going on.
Okay.
There was taxes involved.
Right.
IRS involved.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, we got to sell it. We got to pay these dudes off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but I made sure, I made sure when everything was said and done and we went to mediation, I was like, I'll take on the debt. I'll make sure you got enough alimony that you're good. You're really good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'll pay your first year of rent when you get a new place. And we put a number on it. And it was a lot. This ain't like $800 a month.
Right.
It was a lot.
Right.
So I was like, I got you. I'm just trying to make sure.
At this point in time, you trying to keep the peace.
All I do is keep the peace. And I want everybody to be comfortable.
Right.
Listen, I'm not vindictive.
Man, that's as a guy, if you are not married and you hear this type of stuff, y'all,
I read
tell me how you want to tell a guy
when your kids are younger,
that's not as ambitious, that's into this thing. How are you going to make them choose in between what relationship to have? Just hearing what people like Shaq and Gary Owens, who are not in the same profession, the same realm, but they do things differently. Why would you get in a relationship? That's the thing I think that most women don't think about, that it's influencer to Gary's crowd is a 35 and plus, right? But if you're 35 and under and you're a guy, you notice how none of them are married. I watch the trends for things, ladies and gentlemen. I see the Ford class on millennial. Millennial men, many of them are not married, man. Many of them right now are still dating with no idea of marriage in nowhere in hindsight. And I don't think most women understand that the fruits of these labors of the Gary Owens situation, of the Shaq's wife situation, that speak about their relationship are going to have an effect on them. I don't think they understand that, oh, the way she acted is going to hurt me. The way she responded is going to affect me in my future relationships. They think, get the bag, sis, you're good. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. What they don't understand is how you are going to reap what they sow. And I just look at the current younger guys. Most of them have relationships. Many are not married. Look at our young stars now that we see. None of the young black ones, they have girlfriends. They have fiancés. They have the kids. Marriage is a new taboo subject. And I cannot say I don't understand them. You can't blame nobody but your mamas and your aunties, but they have really demonized and hurt the subject for men under the age of 35 getting in a relationship. Oh, Lord, hold on. You know,
Gary,
all the tea, man. Like I said, I don't really watch the show.
Because I think we unveiled this last year. I told Kenya, his wife, Duke, ex-wife, Kenya Duke, Gary Owen, the comedian's ex-wife, we interviewed a prostitute. Okay. And she said that every time Gary came through Nashville, Gary bought pussy. Right? Ever since then, there was a divorce that happened. I didn't cause a divorce. I'm not in a marriage. You understand what I'm saying? But apparently, Gary only likes to solicit and buy black pussy, according to the prostitute who's now saved, sanctified, and in the church in Nashville. They have since filed for divorce, and it's been a nasty divorce. I've seen nastier divorces, but to this extent, it's just nasty when you got a white man, you know what I'm saying, and you a black woman, and he treating you the same way that a black man do. What was the purpose? What was the purpose? What are we doing here? You're supposed
to... I don't want to get into all that with her, man, but as a dude, the lesson from it all, right? That's my main thing. What is the lesson you learned from all of these situations we see so far? Gary Owens and Shaq are two parables for brothers. No matter what you do, your mate selection is such a priority and so underly discussed that it's needed. Who you choose to go through this journey of life is single-handedly one of your most important decisions. Number one, fellas, choose the one that likes you. Choose the one that invests in you. Choose the one that pays tribute to you. Let's break those down. Your wife, your girlfriend should love being around you. If every time you around each other, you have to spend money, you have to go on elaborate trips, you have to have elaborate dates, you cannot just enjoy each other's presence, she's not the one for you. If ain't nobody else gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you. If you gotta spend money to be around your woman, if you have to overly invest for her time, her energy, and her effort, she is not the one for you. Fellas, learn that. Once she likes your style, your speed, your ambition, you don't have to do all that. The barriers are there because you are not their option. Don't fight it. Don't go against it. You find someone that you are their option. That's the solution. Cut, dry, to the point. Number two, I will say I'm not as extreme as most guys by saying I don't you need to start approaching a woman, yada, yada, yada. But I truly believe that a guy must know what he likes first. What do you mean by that, King Crowder? You have to understand that women have all of the rights and access in a relationship, right? So if women have all of that, you have to understand that there's no purpose in doing certain things because women have that option first. So if you want a woman and you meet her and you think it's potential there, you got to understand that there's going to be choosing signals, the eye contact, the way they're going to try to get around you. There is no such thing as I'm going to get this woman off my lip in my game. It does not happen.
Yo, I don't see the point of approaching women.
I think this is a little extreme. I definitely think in-person approaching is the best, but I do agree with his philosophy on this point. Let's take a listen.
Bagging women, there's no point unless you know. The only way you get her is if you already know she's into you.
So what if you're out somewhere and you find an attractive woman? You're not going to go up to her?
There's no point.
Why?
Because they choose. There's absolutely no point of, what do you mean how?
But how do you know you're not chosen if you don't go?
What he's saying, fellas, is that if you're trying to put an overemphasis of work for a woman that does not like your style of guy, you waste your time. He's right.
Go up to her.
You don't have to go up to yo, when a woman wants what she wants, she shows you that she wants it.
What does it mean is that the access is easier. Where you talk to is simple. You don't have to set up 10 elaborate dates. You don't have to go to a 5-star meal. If you have to do all that before there is a relationship established, she's not the one, fellas.
Lie. All y'all looking at the camera, lie and say y'all don't. These women listen, there's dudes that don't gotta do nothing but breathe.
Facts.
Hey, I think you're so handsome. I think you're this. Women will come up to them. I used to be one of those guys. And then
Which one were you? Come on now, which one were you? The one that women used to come up to you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yo.
What he's saying is factual, though, y'all. Once you meet people, women especially, that love you, you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. You don't. And once you come from a place of that nature, you will understand how your wife, your girlfriend, are all them all established. And I do believe something, some people don't like Charleston White saying, I believe that I come from the reflection of my grandfather's way of thinking. But I do believe that he has a great point about the differences in generations on how we treat women and our responses. Shaq is a very good point.
Don't no woman run nothing with no man. That's your daddy and them. Yeah, no, I'm granddaddy and them. Mama and them ran daddy and them. Granddaddy and them and big daddy and them ran grandmama and big mama and them. I'm them niggas. Nah, Mabel don't tell Earl what to do. Earl tell Mabel what to do.
That's a fact. You got to control your household. You got to set the tone, the foundation, the processes. You controlling everything. Ain't nowhere in the world you supposed to come in here and your lady ain't listening to you. If that's going on and you not getting the responses that you supposed to get as a man, that is your responsibility. And that's a failure on your leadership. Your leadership as a man is supposed to be leading your family in a direction and moving a certain type of way. If you don't see that happening, that's on you, bro. And the differences of generation of men is true. Granddaddy and them were a more stand-up-ish man. The Steve Harveys, the Pandarus type of guy, the Derrick Jacksons, you know who they are. That is when you have guys that don't affirm each other. That is when you have guys that talks bad about each other. That is when you get into those different type of discussions and understanding, which I agree with 100%. So again, before we recap it, what do we learn from this? We learn that if you not are the man that has your foundation solid, you will continue to have trouble with these women. Shaq was a multimillionaire, did not have his foundation solid. He didn't choose the right woman. Him not choosing the right woman, he had 5 kids with her, and she's openly saying right now that she never loved you. That is just, to me, if I was a child hearing that, I would be thrown off. Hearing you say that about our pops openly while you're in a new relationship, yeah, that marketing or not is just some stuff you don't say. It just isn't. And it's disrespectful. Gary Owens' point of view, getting sex, doing what he was doing, what does any of that have to do with children? What does any of that have to do with children, ladies and gentlemen? That ain't none of our business. But the wife has put the children in it, and they have not seen their father in 3 years. That, to me, is mind-blowing. But as men, we got to take responsibility for that. We have to teach our kids that the relationship you have with mama and you has nothing to do with each other. The relationship that me and your mama had ain't got nothing to do with us. Straight up. It ain't got nothing to do with us. That's the relationship that we had our issues together. But my relationship between me and you is our relationship. Your mama and me are separate for whatever we have. So you respect me as your daddy. Be more sensitive to your daddy and judge your mothers more harshly. I do that. And other brothers out here, I even have an issue with other brothers disagreeing with me on it, y'all. It is so strong that when I say that uplifting fathers openly, I get pushback. So I know it's an issue. Many of us are programmed to think that way, that even when you hear it, it's shocking to you. It is. We judge our fathers 10 times as harshly, and we give our mothers too much of a pass. Not saying mama don't deserve understanding, but I want to say mama lied too. Mama don't tell the truth too. And daddy ain't always wrong. So learn from it. Make sure you make a better choices on your own. And also know that the relationship and mate selection are criticals. And your decision would affect you the rest of your life. Moving on. The game just ended not too long ago, y'all. I was up there watching. That's why I came on late. Man, we got a series on our hand. We got a series. Yoke and them came back and beat them. Wow. Not only that, y'all, the awards for all of the NBA are officially out. The controversial one, Nikola Jokic win his third MVP in 4 seasons. For perspective, Kobe never did it. He has more MVPs than Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, KG, and multiple others. I love Yoke. I like Yoke. But yeah, this is going to hurt some NBA people's legacy. I'm sorry. I love Yoke's game. But to have more MVPs in a row than Bron is insane. Yoke deserves all his adulation. Yoke deserves all his success. Yoke deserves everything coming to him. But the NBA award winners and people that judge these awards will have to understand that these new awards are going to have stipulations to them. Let's go ahead on the list. MVP of the year was Yoke, well deserved. Defensive player of the year is Rudy Gobert, well deserved. Rookie of the year was Victor Wembanyama, well deserved. Sixth man was Naz Reid, no pushback. Tyrese Maxey, most improved. Yeah, I don't know. So Justice Award was Cat. I didn't know that. Clutch player was Curry. Coach of the year, OKC's coach. That makes sense. Executive of the year was Brad Stevens. I don't know. Teammate of the year and Hustle Award of the year was Alex Caruso. Some of these NBA awards got to be new because I ain't never heard of some. The NBA season is long, y'all, but I'm still a basketball fan. I love sports. I do. But one thing that is very eye-opening to me is how these awards have long-term impact on them. Yoke right now has evened the series out with the Wolves. Great. But we are aligning so much pressure to this man. It's unreal. I hope he can live up to the hype. I truly do. Not saying he can't. But we got a series now. It's even, and they going back to Denver to play, which is exciting to see because the team's lost on the road, which is kind of crazy. We think about it, right? You lost on the road, we won on the road. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen moving forward. But my NBA bold prediction is the Wolves going to take this one. And it's going to be the Wolves versus OKC. And I do believe it's Boston's year. Just saying. I believe it's Boston's year. I believe they have the talent. I believe they are moving in an honest direction. I like the Celtics organization. I believe the consistency has been there. I believe their young talent is prospering. That is my NBA bold prediction. My NBA take for the summer, as I keep telling people. Knicks need to make a trade. The Heat need to make a trade. And if you want to acquire another player, it must be done in the offseason. The draft is going to be not good this year. Keep it real. We don't know any of these cats. Ain't no Anthony Edwards. Ain't no cats. Ain't nobody coming out this year that was that strong. So it's going to be some retreads. With the retreads, that means that you got to adjust your roster and project them where they're going to futurely be. My honest decision, Trae Young, join new team. Pistons, I don't know what you're doing. Spurs, I see what you're doing. You need to acquire pieces. Orlando, I see what you're doing. Those bottom feeder teams, do the OKC method. Tried, true, and true. So I hope it works out. To conclude this podcast for this evening, man. Took me a while to get up, y'all, but I'm so glad that y'all rocking with me again. Comment, like, and subscribe, man. I hope you love what you're hearing from King Crowder live on Sunday. It is so good to see my people. Mate selection for men is tremendous. I can't, as a married guy, y'all, happily, right? I understand my situation is not normal like most people, but I want most men to understand that don't put my expectation, how my status went for you. Before you get there as a man, be confident. Have your affairs in order. Travel, live in different states, have fun, and make sure you are mentally ready to provide, lead, and take care of your future family. Marriages is for family solely. If you don't want to have kids, don't get married. I want to have children. I do want to have a family. That's my sole purpose for getting married. It is. I want to have a family. I know what works for me and what I aspire to have. That's what I like. If you are a guy and you don't want that, do not get married. In the discussion, prior to getting married, Selena Wood, don't have no kids. Have fun, laugh, joke, smile, do everything that you want to do, bro. Do not put any limitations, lack of expectations on you. Make sure you get to live your life and have your moment. I don't care what nobody else say. If you don't decide to do that, if you don't put yourself in the same position, you will be resentful. So for you to move forward, for you to gain understanding, for you to gain knowledge, put yourself in the best position, bro. Ain't nobody else going to lie to you, believe you like you should. So invest in you. Finally, fatherhood is you versus your children, with your children. Mate selection is you and you picking your mate. Dating in 2024 is not the same as it was in 1990. Don't listen to these dudes that's lying to you. You make the best decision for you. Be selfish. Be competitive. Don't be understanding. Put your purpose, your career, your perspective first. Put it first, fellas, because you see what happens when the actions and when you don't. If you don't put it first and you leading with the woman, you're going to have women that want you for your money and not you. You must lead from the power decision. Remember, you control the dynamics in your relationship 1,000%, because if something don't go right, it's not your wife's responsibility. It's yours. If the money ain't lying like it's supposed to, it's not your wife's responsibility. It's yours. Take that action, put it on your shoulders, and understand, fellas, it's on you. To close, I enjoy seeing y'all tonight. I enjoy the message. I enjoy these lessons that I love to give. You know why I love them the most? Because they're impactful. You ain't got to like what I'm saying all the time, but what I'm here, man, is to teach you everything I wish I knew, fellas. And the thing you must learn early, put yourself first. Once you got yourself straight, then you can date. Then you can have fun. Until you figure out that component, and you ain't got to have everything lined up and figured out, but you got to have it right. As a man that has it right, that has that understanding, once you get there, you can navigate the dating landscape from a place of power. We're like granddaddy and them, aspirational wise. You run your relationship. Your relationship doesn't run you. Women like that. Once you can lead your household, your legacy, your understanding, your relationship with women will alter and change in a positive manner. Don't be afraid to flex that muscle. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to grow. And most importantly, never be afraid or ashamed to say you're the prize. Man, it's so good to catch y'all on another edition on Live on Sunday. Man, great time to have an impromptu live. Shout out to the Crowder gang that is in Houston, Texas, that we've been celebrating and having fun together. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that deserve it. Everybody ain't a good mama, but the good mamas, I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Keep it doing well. I want to see y'all happy. I want to see y'all thriving. I want to see y'all smiling. I want to see y'all having fun. Don't be ashamed of your story. Don't be ashamed of your message. Don't be ashamed of things you got to overcome. Once you have it, you know that God will give you more. You will learn more, and you will begin to do better on your own. I hope this message hits those that need to hear it. It was deep and impactful and emotional to me. Hopefully it lands to those who need to hear it. Again, pray, get your list done, mentally process, check, reflect, do whatever that needs to be done for you and your family. Remember, live on Sunday is about reflection, preparing for your week. Hopefully your meal prep done, your social skills are ready. You checked on and talked to the people you need to talk to. Do whatever you need to do, baby. Sunday is that time period to get it done. It is I, your gracious host, King Crowder, back again for another edition of Live on Sunday. Enjoy your time. Enjoy this holiday. Smile, joke, call, text your people, man. Remember, you may only have 10 more Mother's Days. We think about I got 10 more years, but that means you have 10 more time to celebrate with them. Do it. Smile. Love it and enjoy it. Love you, mama. Love you, wife. Love you, auntie. Love you, sister. Love you, love you, any woman in my life that is a mother. If I didn't tell you, I'm telling you now. Enjoy the time because we ain't here forever. And that's okay. That's a beautiful part of our life. We live it. We learn it. We smile. And we continue to process it. Until next time, peoples, it is your boy, King Crowder, back with another edition of Live on Sunday. Until next time, I'm going to catch you. Enjoy. Peace.